We stood in the past Zeno-sama, and it would completely shake. Zeno-sama released a bit of his power. My lord, what are you about to do? A mortal can't count on a title like that. You can't even choose a candidate of one of the gods, much better one of the angels, but not a mortal.
Daishenkin, I already told you, Goku will be the new supreme god. After the demonstration of his power in the exhibition tournament and in the tournament of power, I'm sure this isn't a discussion. You are only here to obey my orders. Daishenkin was angry, knowing that he didn't have the power to do something against his guardians, and would bow. Understand, Lord, I'm sorry, it's just my small point of view. I understand if you want Goku to be the new supreme god. I'll accept it. When I ask for your point of view, you can give it to me. Otherwise, you better save your comments. I want you to be Goku's teacher so that the power increases amazingly. You understand?
Of course, my lord. I'll personally take care of training Lord Goku to become a powerful warrior. Don't worry. Returning to the planet Abyss, we could see a great aura rising over the planet. Goku was able to master all of the Ultra Instinct, being able to access the state at will. Wow, I'm amazed at the ease in which you're able to master Ultra Instinct. Apparently, it's been able to master it to 100%, by which he'll be able to have the Ultra Instinct even as his new base state if he so wishes.
Thanks very much, Whis, but this is thanks to you. No matter how hard I try, I don't have any of your knowledge. Your knowledge helps me reach a new level, and I appreciate it. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Goku. Since you've been trying too hard, I've got to confess. It is said that the Super Saiyan 4, a transformation which is the destructive power, explodes. I don't know if you can combine the Super Saiyan 4 with your divine power. Super Saiyan 4? I've never heard of this transformation. That's incredible. Of course I want to access it later to combine it with my divine energy. I'm sure I'll become more powerful. In that case, it seems that we can start training that'll allow you to access Super Saiyan 4, and since it is a primitive transformation. Whis, with the help of his staff, would make Goku's tail grow back. Thanks to Goku, he would start his rigorous training mainly of meditation. You must control your mortal energy in the same way, 100%, as it will be useful for you to master your Ozaru state. Because you have not been able to master your tail like ordinary Saiyans, you must master your mortal energy 100%. I understand. I'll continue meditating and become more powerful. I know I can achieve it. Don't worry. Meanwhile, in a faraway place in the Divine Kingdom, the angels gathered because Daishenkin requested an emergency meeting. What happened? Our father has never informed us of an emergency meeting, and for him to do this without warning means something serious is happening. Maybe you're right, Vados. Maybe it's something truly informative. Since it won't always be bad news, you gotta have a little more faith, because if you continue with such negative mentality, you won't attract anything positive in your life. Our brother Vados is right. The angels that you know called the most powerful angel among the 12. You gotta have to see it in a different way. Instantly, a great portal would be around them where Daishenkin would emerge.
Thank you, angels, for coming. This is the most important thing to me, and I want you to know that what I'm doing in the future, I would like the support of all my children.
But Father, if you want to have all of our support, you gotta wait for Whis, because otherwise you'd have to repeat everything again.
Vados, don't worry. Whis will not be notified of this meeting. His character is influenced by mortals. His neutral temperament's disappeared, so we have nothing to talk about in this meeting. And it can go out to the gods, and at least to all the... I understand, Father, so you can inform us what you will do without any problem, since none of us will say anything about it. Continue. Thank you, son. I continue. I'm tired of serving under Zeno. We angels are supposed to be the most powerful race of the 12 universes, even the whole cosmos. Why can't we be rulers? I'm about to overthrow Zeno, and I'd like to count on your support. Murmurs among the angels were evident, because they were not prepared to receive such news. Daishenkin would then break the silence. I'm sure all of you are wondering the reason why I reveal myself. It's the useless Zeno. I want to grant the position of Supreme God to the mortal's son Goku, a simple mortal. I would understand offering it to a god or even an angel, but a mortal? If we continue with this mandate, I'm sure it'll lead to ruin of the 12 universes.
I understand your viewpoint, Father, and I know that I'm governed by the probabilities, so ask for your plan to follow. Even since our support will not be able to do anything against the guardians of Zeno-sama, much less if Zeno-sama is able to access his combat form.
First thing I have to think of is ending Son Goku's life or steal him from eternity in the demonic kingdom. It's said that the fourth prince of hell hates the Saiyans, since it is said that he defeated the power of the original Saiyan.
I understand, Father, and I know that you'll have our support. If you continue to create our dynasty, of course we'll be with you. The race of angels will rise up over the 12 universes, and we will no longer be servants to the gods and kings. We will be rulers.
That'll be the first step of the new dynasty. I want to create my next step, and that'd be to end the life of the guardians of Zeno-sama. And for that we'll need...
At that moment, Daishinkan's staff would sound, because Zeno-sama requested his presence in the palace, and Daishinkan would sigh.
Useless Zeno's requested my presence, so I'm retiring, children. In a few days, I'll give you details of the new dynasty we'll form.
Daishinkan would leave the palace of Zeno-sama just as each angel would leave for their universe. In Zeno-sama's kingdom, Daishinkan would arrive, being able to greet an angry Zeno-sama who was preparing everything to leave with his guardians in search of Daishinkan. What the hell's gotten into you, Daishinkan? You weren't able to respond to my call, and I was able to get out to search for you. This situation better not happen again.
I apologize, Lord. I had to solve a few issues that was pending. That's why I was able to leave the palace. We are not interested in your excuses, priest. Haven't you listened to the great Zeno-sama? If he asks for you to be in a minute, you better be here earlier. Do you understand, you trash?
Daishinkan would duck his head while asking for an apology to Zeno-sama and his guardians.
It's very close to finishing with all you damn good-for-nothing worms. I'll rejoice while you beg for me for your lives. Oh, I swear I'll make you suffer.
I've been thinking about everything you told me, Daishinkan, and this time I want us to hold an elimination tournament for all the gods and mortals. Since this will be placed on multiple planets, they'll have the key to win the magical chest to get out, and victorious team will be able to choose the new supreme god. I'm sure Son Goku from Universe 7 will win, and you'll be convinced.
I understand, Lord, but I understand correctly that this occasion the gods of destruction will also participate? Why should the gods participate, Lord?
Because there are even mortals who compare themselves to the power of the gods, while others do not have that power. To make everything equal, even their gods will have the benefit of participating in the elimination tournament.
I understand. In that case, how much time do I have to inform the gods of the new elimination tournament, or do you prefer to call the tournament to find the supreme god?
That name doesn't sound bad, but don't give the slightest details to the gods. Just inform them of a new tournament in which they'll also participate, and I want this tournament to take place in 2 months so that they have time to train.
I understand. In that case, I'll go do my duty.
Returning to the planet of Beerus, all the time with Whis' staff, they managed to make Goku master his tail in the best possible time. And Goku would access this new transformation, making the whole planet of Beerus shake. However, it was an amazing power, and it didn't compare to the power of the divine transformations. This power runs through my body is amazing, but definitely the Ultra Instinct's more powerful than this. It has served me to master my internal energy. Mr. Goku, you better take a break, because you've been training hard for several consecutive months. You know better than anyone if you don't have good rest, training can be double-edged, so please try to rest. Heh, of course! This time, I'll plan to return to Earth for a few months to spend with my wife and kids, and I also want to see how the crops are going. I promise when I sow, I'll bring you a great feast. Ho ho! That does interest me, Goku, and it'd be a pleasure to taste your harvest. Goku would return to his base state, putting his fingers on his forehead and teleporting. Heh, I thank you for your training. I gotta go to Earth. Goku would disappear from the place, returning back on Earth, arriving with his wife and kids, having a great banquet because they hadn't seen their father in a few months. Goku, while enjoying his family, didn't know that there'd be the last days of peace and calm that they have, because Daishinkan would inform each and every one of the destroying gods of the new tournament, and the great Zeno-sama would hold in about 2 months.
Vados and Mojito, I want you to join me. We have to eradicate Son Goku, but if we end his life for no reason, it'd be suspicious. We have to find the perfect opening.
I understand, Father. In that case, you should wait for the perfect moment. If we attack him right now, some relative of Son Goku could discover us. Although I hate to admit it, I agree with Vados. It's best, Father. The next day, Goku with his vegetable field, under a big sun, would think about the transformation to Super Saiyan 4. Before taking time with the fam, I want to master Super Saiyan 4 100%. Since I only am able to achieve that transformation, I haven't been able to control the wear of its energy. Goku would quickly put on his training clothes, heading towards the Holy Temple with the intention of training in the room time. But Goku, without noticing, was being stalked by the High Priest and his 2 children. But Father, how do you intend on killing him? Or do you plan on sending him to the Infernal Realm, specifically with the fourth Prince of Hell?
That's what I'm looking forward to. I want to end that miserable mortal because it's his damn fault that Whis stopped being neutral, and Zeno-sama, I want him to be the new supreme god. I want him to suffer for all eternity.
Goku's energy would disappear, leaving the trio of angels surprised, who didn't know what happened. Since she was the smartest angel of all, she began to analyze everything and notice the room of time. Well, I didn't expect this. A mortal Son Goku accessing another dimension, with this intention of having better results in a shorter time. But I'm surprised there's such a room of this insignificant planet.
Well, apparently I won't be sending Goku to the Kingdom of Demons. But this time it'll be more satisfying. I'm going to seal him in that room and wait for me. I'll personally take care of him.
In the time room, Goku was standing observing the place, preparing to start his last training. He would feel his presence in this place, and the sky portal would form and a great pressure would fall into place. But if you're Daishaken, what are you doing here? You want to train with me?
Because of your guilt of the useless Zeno-sama is changing everything for millions of years that it took me to build. So I, the High Priest, grants you the curse of immortality. You'll also be sealed in this dimension of my own power.
Hundreds of chains of energies were added to the dimension. While Daishaken left the place, Goku in the room of time, just as he manipulated the own dimension of the time, passes much faster, and so Son Goku's agony would be even more. This is the first step complete. We require the Super Dragon Balls to be able to bring to life the guy who called Black Goku to impersonate him. Daishaken would manage to completely seal the dimension of the time room, forming a dimensional clock in the room, and Goku's agony would be stronger. Knowing he was sealed, Daishaken disappeared. Goku would try to leave because he thought it was a bad joke. What happened, Daishaken? I haven't done anything to try to betray me. I was trying to bring the 12 universes of the Tournament of Power to life. Goku, when trying to leave, his face would go from joy to terror to anger. His door of dimension had completely disappeared. Goku released his power. As amazing as it was, he managed to do nothing. No, this can't be happening! I know that I have to be able to get out of this dimension by expelling my power. And since it's the thing that Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3 did, he was able to create a dimensional porter. I gotta count on my divine energy. Goku would access Super Saiyan Blue Max power, clenching his fists. This amazing power, though it was not able to create any cracks in the room, surprising him and frustrating him, because this power is greater than that of Super Saiyan 3. Damn, how can I not open a portal to the outside? My divine energy is more powerful than mortal, but I'll try my mortal energy. I don't got plans to stay here. Goku at this moment, in his base state, accessed his transformations with the intention of creating a small portal to leave the place. No matter how great his efforts were, he couldn't succeed. In the instant Goku accessed Super Saiyan 3, everything around him changed drastically. He wasn't able to create a dimensional crack. I've got one more transformation. I'm planning to use everything I've got. Daishaken, grant me immortality. I want to check if it's real, because if I die, I'll be able to get out of this damn place. Goku at the moment surpassed his limits, getting to Super Saiyan 4. He wouldn't stay there, and it was overloading his body, but after a few minutes, a huge explosion was created, and his body had exploded into hundreds of pieces in the time room. Outside, Daishaken with his two children got the Dragon Balls. Father, this is the furthest place of all the 12 universes, because on this planet, my brother Vados trains, and we could summon Zama without a problem. My brother is right, Father. This is the farthest place. Closest place is even another multiverse, if it existed. What Vados didn't know was, indeed, beings from other multiverses were staring at them, studying what happened to Zeno-sama's multiverse.
That seems perfect. We'll continue to the second step with our rebellion, which is to bring Black Goku to life. He'll impersonate Son Goku, and he'll bring us all kinds of information about Beerus and Whis. Daishaken would invoke Zama, managing to make his wish, and Zama, with great power, would make Black Goku appear in front of them, finding him very confused. What happened? How am I alive? I was eliminated by Zeno-sama, and I managed to merge with Zamasu. What are you guys doing here? Daishaken, without saying something, pressure would fall on Black's body, breaking several of his bones. We've been able to bring you to life, so you better collaborate. Otherwise, I'll end your life with a snap of my fingers.
I understand. Please, release your pressure. I feel my body being destroyed. I know what happened, but I swear I'll give you my loyalty.
Daishinkan would release his pressure and would heal each of his wounds. I've come to a point with you. I want you to pretend to be Son Goku, and since we betrayed and sealed him in an alternate dimension, he won't be able to leave. If you refuse, I'll end your life and create a copy of him.
What? Were they able to betray Son Goku? Ha! Ironic, it surprises me. These people gave their life for him, and these people betrayed him. Ironic, but count me in. Apparently, this is confusing. Since his friends wouldn't betray him, we the angels pulled him, and we cannot allow a mortal to become the new supreme god. The post is for a divine being. I can't believe Son Goku nominated it to be a new supreme god. That's only for those with divine energy and great power, to overcome the authorities of Daishinkan.
Indeed, even you, being the only supreme apprentice, have that knowledge of the hierarchies of power. But Zeno-sama had the gall to offer it to a mortal. For that reason, we're planning to create a revolution against that useless Zeno-sama.
They're counting on me, but what does that mean for this revolution? We don't know the reason we angels are more powerful than gods, and we're their errand boys. We want to rule now.
Indeed, I'm tired of being the simple guardian of Zeno-sama. I want more. I want the rules to change, and I want to achieve it.
Finally, the angels know their value. Let me tell you, I'm in, because I want to eradicate that stupid king of the world. I also want to eradicate any mortals who think they're gods, because that's an insult to true gods.
I understand, but as long as you pretend to be Son Goku, you can't end anyone's life, since we know Goku wouldn't do that.
Of course, I understand. It'll get complicated. I hate mortals, but understand this is for the greater good. No problem.
In that case, I'm counting on you. I'll give you some more power that Beerus or even the guy Angel Whis would want me to get out of your plans. But I find that if this fails, believe me, I'll make you suffer the worst way. A chill would run through Black Goku's body, and a power would penetrate his, and in the same way his bones would be destroyed due to the power he was experiencing.
This power's amazing. It hurts, but I know this power can help me face angels. I like this plan. Since we've informed you of everything that happened, to train you for the new power. In a few days, Beerus would come to your planet, and a tournament of power will be held. Keep a low profile. I understand, I appreciate it, but you can leave me on Earth. I won't be able to feel any energy to use teleportation. Oh, of course. This planet is inhospitable. You will never feel the energy of any living being. It's impossible. Goku's body at this time was being rebuilt, leaving him surprised because it exploded dozens of times trying to get out. No, damn it! Stupid Daishinkan sealed me here. It's been 10 years. Haven't my friends noticed my disappearance? I'm sure they'll try to rescue me. They'd spent 1,000 years in the room while outside it was just a few days, and Daishinkan was modifying the room to destroy time itself, and the agony was amazing. Goku's mood completely changed. Because of the loneliness, he hadn't trained slightly, and he got into depression. Meanwhile, in a millennium, Goku's determination would return, and he would stand up with a few rays were released over the place. I always wanted to master Divine State of Super Saiyan 4. I have no plans to stay here. Damn Daishinkan will be able to see my power and regret betraying me. Goku with more determination would stand accessing Super Saiyan 4. Because 1,000 years passed, he wasn't able to control his energy. And this instant, he accessed all his power. A huge explosion would be seen and his body would explode, but he would rebuild himself again. Apparently, having not trained for the last millennia, my body's not used to that power. But that could be solved by going back to train. Goku would begin his training with the intention of mastering the mortal energy again. Meanwhile, Black Goku arrived on Earth, leaving for the mountains, meditating to master his power that Daishinkan gave him. The only thing that bothers me is this stupid orange clothes, because my style's better. I recognize if I change my outfit one more time, these miserable people realize I'm not the same. Black Goku meditated. Beerus and Whis arrived on Earth, to Bulma's house where they met Vegeta. Hey Vegeta, you know where Goku is? I have great news. Is this life or death? I don't want to repeat it again.
Oh, I don't really know where he is, Mr. Beerus. He's probably training to get more powerful.
Give me a moment, Mr. Beerus. I'll have my staff find him quickly, no problem at all. Whis with his staff located Black Goku in the mountains, and with Beerus and Vegeta, a huge light would appear in front of him. Well, if it's not Mr. Beerus, and what's happened?
There's no time for that. The king of Zeno-sama wants another tournament in the coming months. Unlike the last one, the gods will participate and our universes will likely be at stake.
That sounds interesting. Count me in. Mr. Beerus, my intention is to become more powerful, and I only want to achieve that to be able to face these beings of this universe, since there's not a warrior capable of defeating me. These words were to anger Vegeta as well as Beerus.
Are you saying you're powerful than me?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm just affirming my power is greater than yours, and I'm sure I'd be able to defeat you.
Damn Goku for nothing. I don't know what the hell happened to you, but you're completely mistaken if you think you can beat me.
I just know that when we fight, whenever you attack me, don't trust yourself because I'll show no mercy.
In the Kingdom of Nothing, Daishinkan would begin to build a great platform in which the new tournament would take place. But his resistance was more because this time the gods of destruction would participate. This would be the last errand I do for that damn dwarf. I want to see his face when I show him that I'll be ruling everything that he built. Daishinkan continued with his work, and Beerus, upset, would pounce against Black Goku. One swift movement would manage to connect a blow to the stomach of Beerus, powerful enough to leave him vomiting blood on the ground. I warned you, Beerus. Don't underestimate me. The whole Universe 7, there's no warrior that can face me. Wow, I didn't see anything. Is this the result of his training? It's not been that long. How could he raise his power that much?
I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta. Mr. Goku's power has increased a lot, but there's no way to increase power that much if you aren't at a good level. And don't worry, Mr. Beerus will not lose from a simple blow.
A great aura would rise through Universe 7, with power being felt. This time, Beerus would expel all his power, and Whis would form a barrier in the universe, and so a battle with these warriors would not be able to destroy this planet. Beerus, without saying anything, would pounce against Black, exchanging blows through the universe. Despite this time Beerus would use all his power. He wasn't able to connect a blow to him, and Goku would instantly move away. Right now, I'll demonstrate the power beyond a god of his destruction. The power that Daishinkan can only grant me. The last thing I would think was his hair turned silver in his eyes. On this occasion, Black Goku achieved ultra-perfect instinct thanks to Daishinkan. Those present were amazed by the power, and in the Room of Time, Goku this time would manage to control the power of the Super Saiyan 4 100%, combining it with his divine energy. Goku would manage to control the power of Super Saiyan 4 again 100%, thanks to the fact that in that dimension, time passed in a different way. Goku was able to take advantage of that time in a better way. I've been able to control my energy 100%, combining it with my divine energy. I also got to control my divine energy. Goku on this occasion would see his divine transformations, moderating the control, only to have that being difficult for his Ultra Instinct. Apparently the Ultra Instinct, I've lost the perfect state. I have to be able to master it once. I'm sure I can. Nothing and no one can stop me in this training. I'm tired of being locked in this place. Goku would access Super Saiyan God state because in this state, he was the one with the highest concentration of divine energy that he possessed. Starting to train again with the intention of increasing his power back to the limit. After a few years in the time room, this power was not able to grow in a great way. And in the same way, he had managed to access the perfect Ultra Instinct, being able to access imperfect Ultra Instinct, but wasn't enough to face Daishinkan and his angels. My power is not increasing. I'm reaching a limit. I also have to start training from zero again, and the only way to get better results would be dividing my body to several essences. That's how Goku would divide his body in 4 equal parts. His power would fall, but Goku would start training each for his part. The power of each of the parts of Goku began to rise overwhelmingly, so much so that after a few months, they would achieve the original power that Goku possessed. This'll be interesting. I have to reform a single being with each of these parts. I'm sure my power will explode in a great way. Goku would begin to unite once again while he was doing it. his power began to shake everything around him, and in the same dimension seemed to collapse, something that even Goku was not able to realize that a very tiny portal was able to form in that place. This new power, Goku managed to form a small portal, implying his power was able to be compared to the power of a great priest Daishinkan. Goku was reforming into a single warrior, and was able to access the state of the ultra-perfect instinct, but it was difficult for him to keep up.
Wow, my power's risen! But even with this power, it's difficult for me to maintain the state of the Ultra Instinct. I gotta keep training.
Outside, the battle of both warriors were very even. Whis would notice Goku's power completely unstable, unlike Beerus' power, and the battle went on, the power decreased noticeably.
Wow, this is impressive.
I never thought Mr. Goku would increase his powers in this great way, since he was able to defeat Mr. Beerus.
What are you saying? Kakarot's able to beat Beerus?
Indeed, Mr. Vegeta, the power of Mr. Goku surpasses Beerus. But this time, even for you to release your power, the power that was keeping you to face Mr. Beerus, you are also a Saiyan and the potential is the same for Mr. Goku. It can be you for you, Mr. Vegeta. Vegeta, without being able to respond, watched as Beerus fell, defeated on top of the sphere, while Goku had a big smile.
I really wanted to end that god's life, but if I did, Daishinkan would end mine, and it would ruin his plans completely.
While Black Goku was in his thoughts, he would feel great power begin to grow. That's right, he would watch as the Prince of the Saiyans clenched his fist with a smile on his face.
I'm planning to use this transformation against Beerus. Apparently, it'll have to be against you, Kakarot. It's amazing you could get this power without training of an angel. What do you think about this?
Vegeta, without holding back, would expel his power, releasing a great purple aura that would rise up all over the place, while the power of an authentic god of destruction would be present over the place. That's right, on this occasion, Vegeta's essence completely changing to that of a god being his base.
Wow, apparently Vegeta's useless power has been increased in an amazing way. I'm sure I could beat him. I've been blessed with the High Priest power. It doesn't matter that Whis granted him training, it's my power that's incredible.
Vegeta, with a great speed, would prostrate in front of Black Goku.
I hope you're ready, because this transformation brings secrets and I doubt that you'll be able to keep up with me for the first time.
Black was irritated by the arrogance and would give him a blow. Despite turning Vegeta's head, it wasn't powerful enough to send him flying. But before saying anything, an arm was disintegrated, and Black, with a large energy scythe, cut his arm off. But before being able to say anything, Vegeta would throw himself against him, with greatly containing the energy of destruction, since otherwise he'd be able to end the life of his opponent. And Black tried to dodge each and every one of his blows because his simple aura was capable of causing damage to his body as well as his internal system. Black would take distance, and Vegeta would prostrate on the top of the large mountain, staring at Black.
What happened? I thought you could use the power which you'd used to defeat Lord Beerus. Or are you already using that power beyond a god of destruction?
What the hell's going on? I can't believe Vegeta's power is bigger than mine, since my power was granted to me by Daishinkan.
Daishinkan in the kingdom of Zeno-sama, because his king requested his presence, Daishinkan would arrive at the kingdom bowing at Zeno-sama.
Tell me, my lord, what happened? Since I was rebuilding the platform for the Tournament of the Universes, anything happened?
Daishinkan, since you were informing all the gods of destruction, I have a request. Since I initially told you about the new tournament on the planet, since they have to find an object in the universe is said to be that object with one of the warriors being the next supreme god.
Understand. He wants all the material of the platform to be relocated and form a planet with that same material to make it more resistant.
Right. If we choose any planet in the 12 universes, I'm sure it'll be destroyed by the first fist clash.
Of course does, Zeno-sama. Since it's time the gods of destruction are in it, we have to have a planet with great resistance.
I'll leave everything in your hands. I want the days to pass so that you can understand that I am right about Goku being this supreme god.
I'm also anxious to see the new tournament will develop, since apparently very interesting things are going to happen. But with your permission, I'm leaving.
Daishinkan would leave for an inhospitable planet that his daughter, Vados, had shown him. He began to adapt for a great battle that would take place between the 12 universes. Returned to the battlefield, Vegeta Ultra Ego was taking advantage against Black Goku, and although Black could dodge his blows, his aura would manage to generate great damage on his body.
Ugh, damn! I never thought that useless Vegeta could give me more problems than the god of destruction himself, but I can't end his life.
Vegeta, realizing his opponent was distracted, would get a big attack in his hands, and being in front of Black Goku, connect this huge attack fully. That's right, even though Black had the Ultra Instinct, not being 100% compatible with Goku's body, he wasn't able to use the maximum power of his ability. Black would fall on the ground de-transformed, while too much blood would spread over him.
Although I defeated Kakarot, I don't feel like I won. Because of this, Beerus fought with him, and I'm sure that he spent a lot of his power.
Whis with his staff would heal Black Goku and obtain a great increase in power. Despite being upset, he would disguise this well.
Wow, Vegeta, I'm amazed at your power you could get. Apparently today you'll be the most powerful Saiyan of the 12 universes. Ha! Don't say stupid things. You know the only thing I'm interested in is protecting my family and being more powerful. I appreciate your compliment, you damn insect.
Ho ho! Both have been able to leave me surprised by the power they achieved in this short time period. But we have to leave, so train for a few weeks so we can have this new tournament. Whis with Beerus would leave the planet, Vegeta would also leave, and Black Goku upset.
Damn, I've been defeated by a mortal again. I want to end his life, but what transformation is that? Since I was the one who was hitting him, his energy alone was capable of hurting me. I have to communicate with Vados. She'll be able to give me some answers.
Black would instantly try to communicate with the Angel of Universe 6. In the time room, Goku was able to have mastered 100% of the power of the Ultra Instinct, and thanks to this, his power increased in a supernatural way. Not being satisfied with this, Goku continued with his fixed goal, which was to combine his divine state with the powerful Super Saiyan 4.
I've been able to master 100% of my energies, so I'm ready to access a new state.
Goku instantly began to concentrate, while his entire body of Super Saiyan 4 began to travel the divine energy. But this time, all his fur would turn blue, while a large Ozaru could be seen over the place. And although Goku's muscles would grow greatly, they won't explode. And after a few minutes, a great light would be possible to be seen with Goku in his new transformation, which would combine Super Saiyan 4 to the power of Super Saiyan Blue.
Wow, the power of my body is amazing! This is the one that got Super Saiyan Blue. I can't imagine the power that I get with Ultra Instinct.
Goku would concentrate. Without trying to lose his transformation, his body was heavy, due to the energy condensed in his body. Because of this, Goku would expel more power with great bursts of energy, being able to release his power, moving a little bit better.
I gotta train before I consider using this Ultra Instinct. If I combine it, I'll explode dozens of times.
Goku in his new transformation would train, and in his mind, revenge against Daishinkan. Black would manage to communicate with Vados.
What do you want, Black? You can't communicate with me. I hope what you gotta tell me is important. And this is everything that is destroyed from a mortal from one universe, not supposed to communicate with an angel.
I know, but I have doubts. Tell me, what kind of transformation is that purple-haired Saiyan? Since even though Daishinkan granted me power, I've been defeated by that Saiyan Vegeta.
That's impossible. The power of Daishinkan can't be defeated by a mortal. That should be the lack of compatibility with the power of a priest. Keep training, the tournament's close.
Damn, I haven't solved my doubts.
I'll continue with my training. That tournament, I want to end the life of Vegeta.
Communication would end, and Black would leave for Earth, with the intention of releasing more power without being discovered by the deities of Universe 7, and on the planet of the God of Destruction, Beerus had awakened.
What happened? Where am I? What happened?
As surprising as it may seem, Mr. Beerus, you were defeated by Mr. Goku, but that surprised me was that Vegeta defeated Mr. Goku, and that means Vegeta's power is greater than yours.
Damn, I never thought a Saiyan could surpass me. Whis, train me again. I'm a prodigy. I know with a few months of training I can become more powerful. It'd become handy in the new tournament that Zeno-sama is organizing.
Ho ho! It seems to me, Mr. Beerus, I'm sure the gods and warriors are training to not lose in the tournament. And Goku would try to master the Super Saiyan Blue 4, with the power skyrocketing, and Goku realizing that millions of years had passed, but thanks to the immortality Daishinkan gave him, Goku was alive, but his power increased immensely.
It's time to combine my most powerful transformation and my most powerful divine state. I'm sure that transformation I'll be able to destroy the dimension completely. I never understand why my friends didn't rescue me.
Goku in Super Saiyan Blue 4 would increase his power, making everything shudder, and the power of the Ultra Instinct enveloped his body. This power was beyond the god combined with the Super Saiyan 4, and his power increased while his bones were destroyed. But in his mind, he remembered Daishenka betraying him for no reason. And because of that, Goku could continue his transition, achieving a new state beyond the state of a high priest. Goku would manage to combine the state of Super Saiyan 4 with the power beyond Ultra Instinct, and all over his body was power that would travel over it, and his form would reflect that power he possessed. It's been complicated. I've been able to combine my most powerful transformations into one. Thousands of years have passed. I feel like I'm able to increase my power more, and I want to continue increasing it more. I long to end Daishenkin's life. I want to humiliate him. Goku in his transformation as Super Saiyan Heavenly God meditated, and this time his power was so great the dimension trembled, destroying the dimension without difficulty. He did not do it since he was not able to control all his power. I gotta control my power. If Daishenkin was able to betray me, I'm sure that Zeno-sama is behind this, and I don't forgive him for what he's done to me. I plan to end his life once and for all. On the planet of nothing, Daishenkin was beginning to make his final preparations for the new Tournament of Power, in which the gods of destruction would participate, but Daishenkin's gaze reflected evil, with a smile that'd be drawn over his face.
Haha. That useless bastard Zeno thinks that this tournament will be to check the true power of Son Goku, and that he's worthy of becoming the new Supreme God. But he's wrong, since this planet will also be the end of that dwarf.
That's right, this planet known as the Planet of Nothing had the name based on Zeno-sama, but the real name of the planet was the Prison Planet, because the entire base of the planet, as well as its cores, were sealing beings of great power. And due to the dozens of seals, even for the king at all, it'd be difficult to leave.
I'm sure that dwarf along with his guardians would have the required power to be able to leave. I doubt that he could leave on his own, since on this damn planet I plan to seal Zeno-sama, for I to end his life with the useless guardians.
Daishenkin once again hold a meeting with all the angels except Whis. Each of the angels would come to the prison planet.
My children, the planet on which the new Tournament of Power will be held has been completed. The planet will be the new home of the useless Zeno. As you are able to realize, this planet has three-dimensional seals.
You're amazing, Father, since even a warrior of the highest level would not be able to do anything against these seals. And if Zeno-sama is as old as it's said, maybe he'll be able to do something with the seals.
You're wrong. I wanted daughter because you noticed that dwarf, he always leaves the lifting to us. That bastard can't do anything on his own. I'm sure he won't be able to leave this place.
That is amazing. I always thought that at the being of the King of the 12 Universes, his job would be more complex. He is a good dwarf for nothing. Since he's not able to defend himself on his own, this would be easier than expected. Certainly, Father. Before I forget, Beerus of Universe 7 defeated Black Goku in friendly combat. But the weirdest thing was, the Saiyan named Vegeta of the same universe defeated Black, even though Black used the Ultra Instinct. For that very reason, I inform you, Father.
I'm surprised that Beerus, considered the most powerful god of the 12 gods, was defeated by Black Goku. I agree with you. It surprises me that a Saiyan named Vegeta defeated Black Goku.
You're right. It's said that the Ultra Instinct is over all the powers, and he was informing me that Vegeta managed to access the purple hair transformation. With the help of my staff, I have not been able to find anything about it. I'm not able to understand what's happening.
I agree, Vados. It's rare since the Saiyan named Vegeta achieved the power of a doctrine. Since it's only for him to be able to defeat Black Goku, I thank you for the information. I'll have to investigate it. I don't want to have any failure in this revolution we have.
The angels would retreat to their respective universes. On the other hand, Daishenkin, with great power, was able to strengthen a little of the seals, which with that planet started to laugh like a maniac over the planet of nowhere.
Ha 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 ha! Finally I'll be able to seal that damn dwarf good for nothing. We the angels are the most powerful race of the 12 universes, and we will have the beings of divine energy at our feet, because that's where they belong.
Millions of light years away, a powerful warrior with a tail similar to the state of Super Saiyan 4 was watching everything with a smile over his face.
Wow, this is amazing! I never thought that a planet we left in the confines of the entire multiverse of Xeno will become the new platform of the tournament. But the most amazing thing is that they even plan to seal Xeno on that planet. I want to see how this goes. It's making me curious.
In the Room of Time, a few centuries past, Goku would manage to master the power beyond a supreme angel, and had enough power to explode the dimension once and for all. I feel it's time to get out of this place. I'm able to destroy it. I want to meditate one more time since I'm able to have a quintillion years have been in this place and have been in the longest. Goku in his transformation of Heavenly God would meditate, destroying the room. Outside, the day of the new Tournament of Power had arrived, and Zeno-sama along with the Guardians were animated. It's time! Goku will be able to prove to Daishinkan that he's worthy of being the new Supreme God of the 12 Universes, since his ability to increase his power is even capable of surpassing all other races. Daishinkan would arrive in front of Zeno-sama bowing.
My lord, the Planet of Nothing has been completed. In about 2 hours, the gods together with our participants will be here.
I understand. Today we will show you how we rely on the power of our friends Goku. I want you to watch the whole combat. Daishinkan would smile, exclaiming the following.
Of course, my lord. The tournament is interesting, since even the successor happened to be nobody had planned. I don't plan to miss any detail of this new tournament to look for the new Supreme God.
Because of this, each universe began to go to the Planet of Nowhere with their respective warriors. All the universes were present, but Universe 7 was missing.
This is strange. I thought the Bears, being the winner of the last tournament, would place first. Apparently he chickened out this time. Even Jiren was taking the training of a Guardian of Angels. And that power has increased incredibly. Well, I'm sure that he'd be able to defeat most of the gods of destruction. Don't say stupid things. I agree with you, Jiren's powers is amazing, but I doubt that he'll be able to beat us. So don't say something stupid. I can assure you that Hit's power increased incredibly, that he's able to eliminate you before you even blink.
Before the discussion of the gods continued, a great rumble would be felt. A rumble that would make the entire present fall on their knees, and Daishinkan felt pressure over his body.
Definitely, a power of Universe 7's amazing. I'm not able to completely assimilate it. Now they've increased greatly, they won't be able to do anything against the angels.
Father, we're sorry for the delay, but we have a few inconveniences with the participants. The last moment, we were able to solve it.
Don't worry, Whis. The important thing is the 12 universes are already present. I'll inform the rules of the tournament what they will be.
On Earth, specifically the time room, everything around him was shaking. Goku would stand. It's time to destroy this dimension. I don't know how many years it's been, or why my friends couldn't help me, but right now I'm gonna end that good-for-nothing bastard. Goku, expelling his power, would manage to create an immense portal, controlling his power, and he remembered the Room of Time was located in a sacred temple. And if he released that power, he'd be able to explode the entire Universe 7. The instant Goku left, he realized that nothing had changed. It was completely the same. He felt the energy of his friends at Bulma's, except for the participants of the tournament was being held. What's going on? I'm sure outside the time room there's been hundreds of years. I was locked in that place for billions of years. I'm sure something must have happened. Goku with great speed would arrive in a matter of seconds towards Bulma's house, leaving everyone surprised. But without Goku able to say anything, Bulma would quickly approach. Goku, how's it possible you're here? A few moments ago you were with someone else attending the new tournament with the great Zeno-sama. Tournament? I'm sorry, I think I had a blow to my head. I don't remember the reason I used teleportation to get out of this place. I can't let my friends find out about everything that happened. The last thing Goku would think would be taken out of his thoughts, since Bulma kept talking, but Goku wasn't able to understand because he was confused. Bulma, I'm sorry, but how long's it been since I arrived from training with Whis on the planet Beerus? It happened that everything turns over in my head, and I don't remember for sure if I arrived in my last training. I don't know what happened in the last tournament, but apparently they've been able to hit you on the head in your last training with Whis about 2 months ago, in which all the warriors and gods prepared for the new Tournament of Power. 2 months? Was Daishinkan really able to modify the time room? I can't believe this. I have to do something. I'm sure that in that tournament they're holding, something bad must happen. All this would pass through Goku's mind, for while the other word would disappear from the whole place, starting to move around the 12 universes with the intention of perceiving the power of some being of divine energy. But it was impossible for him, since the planet on which they were holding the tournament was furthest away from the 12 universes. Damn, I can't feel the power of my friends nor the gods. I'm sure Daishinkan's up to something. I'll have to communicate with Vegeta. He would concentrate in connecting with the Princess Saiyans.
Kakarot, the hell are you doing? You're next to me. You're communicating with me mentally. Don't make me irritate more, you insect.
Goku would be surprised to learn a warrior like him was participating. For that reason, my friends took the time to look for me. Daishake was able to plan this meticulously, that even created a copy of me so that none of my friends could notice. But he'd be taken out of his thoughts by Vegeta's voice.
The hell you want? That reason you've communicated with me telepathically?
Vegeta, the guy next to you is not me. I was locked in the time room. My training I had with Whis, I was locked by Daishake and other angels. They'll have to do something in that blessed tournament.
Vegeta was taken back. His gaze would quickly change to one more serious as he looked at Black and he would notice. What's going on, Vegeta? Have you afraid of the fights in this tournament?
Don't worry.
Daishaken's been able to inform me the rules. There's nothing to fear. We have to get the Holy Key off this planet.
Damn insect, how am I going to be scared? I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. You better back off or I'll beat you again.
Heh, what, you want to try one more time? I'll be able to take you as my personal punching bag.
Vegeta, in that small exchange of words, would realize that warrior he has as a companion was not Goku. Goku would have never left a battle with his own companion.
I understand, Kakarot. I believe you, but you can't do anything. The tournament's about to start. I'll increase my power to the max, so you try to perceive it, but stay in the shadows. I don't know how this tournament will develop.
Vegeta would expel the power of the Ultra Ego to the max, being perceived by Goku, and thanks to Vegeta continuing to raise his power, Goku would reach the tournament planet while eliminating his energy completely, using energy camouflage, and he would hide completely.
So this is a new tournament those wretches made. I want to see what that good-for-nothing insect would do.
Goku, with his anger, would observe Zeno-sama, surprised to hear his words.
Daishinken, in this tournament, Goku will demonstrate his power. The power that's worthy of being a new Supreme God. You have no excuse to refuse.
So Daishinken was able to betray me, because great Zeno-sama wanted to grant me a position in the highest hierarchy of the Divine Kingdom. I never thought Zeno-sama would be on my side. This is more complex, since he has hundreds of hostages. A smile would be drawn on Daishinken's face.
Of course, my lord. I always wanted to see the fights that the warriors would offer in this tournament of power.
A warrior would exceed a little of the power of Goku, preparing with the intention to see the tournament of power with a better angle. The tournament on the planet of nothing began. All the universes were scattered to different points. All over the planet, demonic energies inhabited. They were able to feel the presence of divine energy.
Because of this tournament, they plan to use the new Supreme God. They'll face warriors who possess demonic energy. They have to overcome each and every obstacle until they're able to find a sacred key.
All the gods together with their warriors began to make their strategy, while from the shadows a copy of Daishinken with 95% of all his original power began to create a powerful seal, especially for the guardians of Zeno-sama.
I've left 5% in my original body. It's only to announce the rules of the tournament and some concern of that dwarf. But with 95% of my power and the help of my children, I can create an undetectable and lethal seal.
Daishinken would execute the seal, and the seal not detected by Goku, since the energy emanated by all the gods as well as all the beings of the demonic energy were great, being able to completely cover a small portion of the seal that Daishinken was creating. Returning to the planet of nowhere, all the universe gods together with participants would disperse over the planet with the intention of finding the sacred key. And there were 12 universes participating and only 8 sacred keys on the planet. Because of this, the 4 universes would be completely eliminated, or more if they were defeated by the demonic energy warriors.
Wow, the gods and their participants have started the whole planet out of nothing. This will be interesting. I want to see how my friend Goku develops.
Ho ho! I agree with you, great Zeno-sama. I'm eager to see the abilities of the new Supreme God candidate. This'll be a great show. I can't imagine the look on that asshole's face when they realize the tournament that Zeno held. It'll be the day of his exile completely. I want to see the damn face of despair when I'm sealing him in my definite seal.
The warriors of the Universe 7 with their god Beerus were not moving. Vegeta had his guard up knowing that Goku who was on his team was an imposter. Hundreds of questions were going through his mind.
If Kakarot's been locked in the time room, who is this guy? Daishinken must have great power to copy Kakarot. Vegeta, Goku, and Frieza, you're the most powerful warriors of Universe 7. I don't count Broly since he can't control his power, so it could be double-edged sword by attacking us in the same way. I understand, Mr. Beerus. You think we have any plans to start looking for the keyhole? Although Daisheki didn't report what happened in the universes, they weren't able to get the key. I'm sure of all Zeno-sama would eliminate them.
That's more than sure. If in the Tournament of Power that took place some time ago, Zeno-sama eliminated every universe that lost all its warriors, this tournament must be more demanding, since the new candidate for Supreme God is sought. But while the Universe 7 were trying to discuss their next move and the other universes were looking for the keys, in the core of the planet, a powerful warrior would open his eyes. The planet had the confines of the 12 universes, and as Daisheki called into place the planet prison, because hundreds of millions of years ago, a powerful warrior had been sealed on that planet, 100 exiled completely. Due to this, even the closest planets were in other multiverses, but as they felt the real divine energy of hundreds of warriors, their internal system had slowly started to recharge.
Well, I don't know how many millions of years have passed since I was sealed on this planet, but apparently the beings of divine energy on the surface. Though their power is pathetic, I will continue to feed a little more on their energies.
That's right, a warrior named Azrael possessed the angelic rapture technique, which allowed him to absorb the energy of his enemies. And the energy he stole was tiny. His bearers were not able to realize how his energy was gradually decreasing, changing the scenario. Universe 11 would find itself face to face with Universe 7.
Well, this is a surprise, Beerus. Something I forgot to mention to Daishenkin is that the way we can eliminate other participants to have the necessary time to look for the key with tranquility. Huh. Don't make me laugh, Belmont. You know you don't have the power to face me, and if you want to face me together with Jiren, it's a pity. I've got warriors with the same level of a god on my team, and I'll give you a chance. Leave, and I'll let you have one of the sacred keys.
Belmont, annoyed with the lack of respect, would pounce against Beerus, and with great power, Beerus stretching out one of his hands without much effort, he would stop his fist, with the destructive energy spreading through the planet. The internal system of the fallen angel began to increase better and more faster.
I don't want to waste my energies in vain, so I'll give you one more chance. Get out of my sights, and I'll act as if none of this happened. Because if you don't accept my offer, I won't give you an opportunity like this again. I don't know if I regret it, but I trained for all this time. I'm planning to use all my power. You'll get to see the new evolution I've been achieving with my training. Evolution? Don't say something stupid. I'll always be more powerful than you.
Belmount's gaze would turn gloomy while an incredible power was released. The true power of Belmont was released over the place, and the other participants surprised. And the power he released was madness, because his angel would give a smile. Knowing that Beerus was not able to do anything against that power, Belmont was considered the second most powerful god with Beerus above him. Both gods were gifted.
Heh, this will be interesting. Belmont has showed all his battle on the battlefield. I hope Beerus is ready.
Ho, I must confess that I am surprised by the power that Belmont has been able to achieve. But it's a pity, since Mr. Beerus, not for nothing, holds the title of the most powerful god among the 12 gods. So I'll just watch as the combat unfolds. Goku was surprised by the power of Belmont.
I definitely did the right training to master mine, even being able to make myself transform, like the Super Saiyan Angelic God. Otherwise, I'm sure I couldn't do anything.
The powerful god Camus came from the neighboring multiverse. You were watching everything while smiling.
This is indeed a big surprise. I never thought that the ideas of little Zen would be interesting. I understand my predecessor. He tells me about this planet and a fallen angel. I don't know if it's real or not, but the simple fairy tales, I don't see anything happening. But the god Camus spoke from ignorance. In the entire core, the fallen angel would manage to get 8% of his original power. Though speaking of percentages, it was insignificant. The power he released of his 8% was madness due to the power that he had asleep.
I'm sure with 8% of my power, it's more than enough to end this garbage. I want to wait a little longer so I can be able to perceive a pitched battle taking place on the surface. I'll get my energy veins to get all this power, and in case they are present, one of the 4 stars.
That's right, above the Kings of the Whole, the multiverse, there were 8 stars, which their max authority of that omniverse were able to seal a fallen angel on the prison planet, and the power and soul of the 4 stars were required so that his existence would not be able to leave that place. With the divine energy that was traveling over the planet, the fallen angel had awoken from his sleep.
I have so much desire to destroy everything in my path. I want to show the power of Azrael, not capable of being held by a few simple seals, but I want to be sure that no star is present, because they are the only simple kings of multiverse. They're nothing more than worms compared to my power. On the surface, Belmont was able to get all his power, and because of this, his appearance changed, and the power he gave off was able to release hundreds of rays over the battlefield. This is the result of my Beerus training. I don't have to waste my spit giving you explanations, since on your point of view, you always think you're superior. Without a response, Belmont with great speed would pounce against Beerus, giving him blow after blow. Even though Beerus tried to do something against him, he couldn't. Belmont's power had exploded greatly, and the warriors of Universe 7 seeing this would pounce against Belmont, and Jiren would get in his way. I'll be your opponent. Since this battlefield is of two gods, I want to battle with you, Goku, as well as Belmont. I have been able to increase my power greatly. Black Goku would start walking through the middle of everyone while accessing the perfect Ultra Instinct, just like a big smile drawn on his face. As your god said, the great priest Daishinkan did not say that you could end the life of his opponent. And because I have given that thought, I'll give you a beating to be able to end your existence once and for all. Well, I didn't expect this. I thought that the battle we'd have would be a friendly one, but your temperament's changed. I hope you're ready, because if you try to end my life, I'll end yours. Black Goku, without saying anything, would exchange hundreds of blows with Jiren. But something that even Vegeta noticed was that the weak points he had in his past battle were filled, since even for Vegeta, he couldn't find an opening in Black Goku's way of fighting. This would be complicated. Apparently, a damn copy of Kakarot's been able to undergo rigorous training, and he could fill the weak points, and thanks to that, the defense and offense he achieved is incredible. While the battle of both gods, Belmont had beaten Beerus, making him fall to the ground, destroying a large part of the place. What happened to Beerus? I thought that your power would be more amazing than that. But after all, you're just another worm. You couldn't do anything against my true power, after having undergone a great training. Beerus stood up and spit out blood and would give him a smile. I gotta admit, you possess an incredible power, but you need more power and strength. You have to proclaim yourself as the most powerful god of the 12 universes? With that pathetic power, you couldn't defeat me. Belmont, annoyed, would once again lash out against Beerus. On this occasion, Beerus would hold his fist, squeezing with power, making Belmont's arm's bones destroyed. And because of this, Belmont was trying to get away from Beerus, but the grip was so powerful that his only alternative was to cut off his arm. Damn, I didn't think you could force me to cut off my limb. But me being a god, I can regenerate, so this is nothing. Belmont's arm would quickly regenerate. Belmont, seeing Beerus again, was able to take in his aura of mass destruction over his body, while even his own aura was able to take form of a god of death, which only the beings of the highest level would notice. Definitely, if we had the support of the deities of Universe 7, our revolution against the beings of the highest level would be easier. But those wretches have lived for a long time with mortals, that even their way of thinking has been affected. We could not risk it. Returning to the battlefield, Beerus began to walk in flames with his power rising, and this time Belmont would tremble, while everything around him shook. Black Goku's battle against Jiren, with Black having the advantage because his attacks were to end his life. Causing great damage to Jiren's body, Black Goku of the large energy sphere was able to cause destruction in the path of everything. But after a few minutes, the smoke dissipated and Jiren could be seen, who was in terrible condition on the verge of death, while blood was releasing from him. Damn! How could you get all that power? Jiren would fall to the ground out of combat. Zeno-sama, witnessing this, would give a smile, and because the position of Supreme God was completely for Goku.
You've been able to see if Daishinkan as my friend Goku defeated Jiren, and apparently it's not taking the slightest difficulty for him. He'll be the most powerful Supreme God.
Ho ho ho! Of course I'd be able to witness that combat, Lord. If you knew that guy is simply Black Goku, you'd be surprised. But it's not time to tell you anything. The seal I've finalized.
All this would pass through Daishinkan's mind while Goku watched everything happen with great anger, but was able to control himself.
I want to end that miserable Daishinkan. I'm sure he has something prepared, so I've got to be a little more patient.
Daishinkan would snap his fingers, and with the seal he had planned to seal the Guardians of Zeno-sama. Despite observing a large seal over the place, a much greater power was able to repel it. The fallen angel had been able to stand, flapping his wings a little, releasing 8% of his power, making multiple warriors fall to their knees without being able to do anything. An extremely incredible power to be present through the place. Power of a fallen angel making hundreds of warriors fall out from the prison planet on their knees. Pressure so great Daishinken, like Zeno-sama, along with his guardians would fall humiliatingly. Goku, releasing a bit of his power, was able to resist, but the pressure released was on another level.
What the hell? This is impossible! I knew this was one of the distant planets of the multiverse. A powerful being's been sealed. And according to legends, the soul of 4 stars is needed. Beings that are on top of the entire omniverse. This is stupid.
Camus, expelling amazing power, would prostrate himself on the prison planet. A fallen angel released his power, and an appearance being drastically changed. His wings would disappear, and his whole face and body darken, revealing nothing, as the pressure was able to bend them.
I don't know who you are, or how you got here, but I won't let you interfere in this tournament. I was having a great time, and you have 2 alternatives. First, you leave, or second, you die. Ha ha ha! Very arrogant words for a simple governor. You don't have the power to make me, the angel Azakiel, die. Not even the celestial stars ended my life, much less you.
Camus annoyed tried to pounce on him, and everyone wasn't able to move. Only deities, angels, and mortals seemed that this time it had stopped.
If they're not able to move, it means that they will never be able to do something. I can tell being able to move freely. I don't know why it is hidden with the shadow element. That one is a great power.
Goku could be surprised hearing these words.
What? How could he discover my camouflage? It's unreal. These beings of divine realm can't feel my energy. How can this guy achieve this? It's very powerful.
Daishinken, vomiting blood, couldn't stand, and his bones pulverized by the pressure.
No, damn this guy! Everything he was able to seal my pathetic guardians of Zeno-sama. This worm was able to get in the way of my plans. I'm not able to do anything. His power is greater than Zeno-sama's in this combat state.
No one was able to make a single movement. Because of this, the fallen angel would stop releasing his pressure, making everyone mobile again.
I realize you are all warriors. I'll offer you a deal. If among all of you, including the most powerful of deities, angels, gods, and mortals, you're able to give me a single blow, I'll leave these universes and never hear from me again. Do you accept, or do you wish to die?
Without any response, the warriors rushed him, and even Azakiel, with confident power, would heal the wounds of everyone. In the intention of attacking with all their power, Azakiel smiled with a thousandth of a second, exclaiming the following.
No matter how many ants join, they can't defeat me. Something like a dinosaur is me, and you just scraps. Have fun with whatever I please.
Azakiel would dodge all of the warriors present. Camus would fly out with great power, destroying a few mountains.
Daishinken! Gods, angels, mortals, cover me! I have a plan to access my combat state. We can't allow this guy to leave. If he does, it'll be our end.
All the warriors would grant time to Zeno-sama. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't touch that powerful being. This would generate a great indignation in Daishinken and would fall to the ground humiliatingly.
What's supposed to happen to my plan? This was not what I had in mind. I was supposed to be the most powerful warrior of all existing. I had just sealed the unhappy Zeno-sama, but this dam threatens the existence of everything created.
A great light would be seen in the battlefield. Zeno-sama with his guardians would access his power, putting himself in front of the warriors.
We don't know who you are, but we're the most powerful warriors of the multiverse, and if it costs us our lives, we don't let you be able to appropriate everything we built.
Well, apparently even your appearance has changed. Your peculiar ability reminds me of the technique of the celestial stars. To be exact, Zenku's destruction star.
Zeno-sama's face would change with astonishment. Zenku was the most powerful warrior of the lineage of Zeno-sama's family. For Zeno-sama himself, it was impossible to meet such an iconic character.
What do you say? How do you know Zenku's existence?
Well, I've left you surprised knowing him. But for your information, I fought that bastard and he gave me a battle of the same skill that you used. but his was better.
It's obvious that Zenku's technique was more powerful, and among the generations that have passed, they've only tried to imitate it. I'm not interested. We'll eliminate you.
Ha! Give your best shot. When I can get all my original power, you can't even be in the same territory as me. On that occasion, my pressure will be able to finish you. Currently, your information, I only own 10% of my energy.
Attack! Don't let him get his power back!
Everyone present would rush the fallen angel. Goku, who was watching everything happen, would realize no matter how great the effort was these warriors had, it was a lost war. The whole planet contaminated by an incredible corrosion, which generated the powers of everyone present to decrease little by little. But such insignificant amounts, no warrior would notice his energy was drained. That guy was prepared even before the battle started. I'm surprised the supposed governor. I felt the energy similar to that of Zeno-sama. The way that guy addressed himself, I can imagine he's the governor of some universe. Goku continued to watch as the whole battle unfolded. The more went on, warrior after warrior fell. No matter how many there were, the power of Ezekiel was making everyone fall to his feet. That's right, Ezekiel would release more power, and reaching 12% of his power, no warrior could move a hair. Unlike before, this time, the bones of those bodies were destroyed, and too much blood was released over the place.
Kakarot, run! I don't know how many years these miserable people locked you up, but even though it's you, you've trained for thousands of years. You can't cope with that guy.
A great aura would form and fire created around him, and begin to approach the warriors who on this occasion were motionless.
You definitely can't call yourselves the most powerful warriors of the entire multiverse, because as far as I've seen, 2 warriors are in this place. They're good rulers for nothing. I remember that millions of years ago, there were real authentic rulers, as was Orochi the Omni-God Saiyan.
Camus, despite being hurt, would tremble, knowing Orochi, the most powerful Saiyan of the entire race, he was even the Saiyan from the lowest mortal level, managed to rise to the top, fighting with celestial stars.
I can't believe this guy has the warrior legends. That damn prison planet can't be the place the divine energy is capable of finding. This fault of his Zeno-sama multiverse. It's not time for you to start saying who's to blame and who's not. Don't worry. I'll send you off all to the other world.
Ezekiel would generate large sphere of energy in 4 elements in one of his hands, making them unify, throwing them without thinking twice. However, many seconds passed and a ball of energy would not explode. It seemed that it disappeared because the event Ezekiel was surprised.
Ha! I don't know what happened, but that act, I'm gonna create a sphere of destruction. I want to leave your souls, they'll never exist. So die.
Gigantic sphere of energy would begin to approach everyone. In front of that sphere of energy, Goku would appear, stretching out his hands, starting to stop it, while his white fur moved over his body.
What? How the hell is this happening? How is it possible there are 2 Gokus? Even the Goku of my universe was defeated by that guy in an instant. Mr. Beerus, there's no reason for me to keep Kakarot's secret. Daishinkan, along with the Angels and Whis, decided to exile and seal the Kakarot insect in the time room for hundreds of years.
What? How's it possible that the father was able to do such a deplorable thing? Even notice if it weren't for Goku's help, all of us would be dead right now. What happened to his pure heart? I don't recognize him. Daishinkan, despite being in terrible condition, was able to shout.
It's the fault of Zeno-sama. It's possible that the son Goku's bastard was a candidate, or an angel or god deserves a position, not a mortal. This is unforgivable, and secondly, I tried to get that boy to that damn dwarf who calls himself king. For that reason, it was nothing that served.
While Daishinkan explained everything, Goku would disappear a large sphere of energy, holding it in one of his hands, while an opposing gaze would fix the fallen angel, which would give a little smile.
And a smile of determination, not like the rest of these scumbags who call themselves warriors but are nothing but flies. Show yourself in your deadly power.
Of course, I long to fight against you. You couldn't end the life of that Daishinkan, and because of him, I spent all these years locked in the same place. But you know, Daishinkan, it wasn't bad. If we hadn't trained, we would have died. So your attempt to end my life is counterproductive for you.
Ha! You give me to understand that simple training could beat me? Don't say stupid things. Even among the elite warriors, I, as a prodigy, a mortal like you, it's impossible that you could do anything.
If you believe that you could stop both spheres of energy thrown out, or you think it was luck, don't tell me something stupid.
Even if you simply try to irritate me, it's impossible. I have sealed for millions of years, and thanks to that I can control my emotions. But priest, how about you join me? If you swear allegiance to me, I will protect you from this being, and you will be appointed supreme commander of my army.
Daishinken, don't accept! No matter how tempting it is, I'll forgive you for what you've done. But don't get involved with this outsider.
I agree to join your cause and destroy everything you order me. I want to have the power to end the beings who dare humiliate me.
Goku, before Daishinken was able to join Ezekiel, he would mobilize with the intention of ending Daishinken's life. Ezekiel, with his power, would try to stop Goku's time, and Goku's power was great, only able to do it slower. But this opening was perfect for Ezekiel, who would save Daishinken at the last second.
What's the matter with you? Do you want to end the life of my first subordinate? If it's that rude, a simple fact, I'll give you a beating.
Ezekiel approached Goku with a red aura, healing all of Daishinken's wounds. A very ancient seal would likewise be placed over his heart.
What is this stamp? I don't feel any pain. I know something's wrong. In case you've had thoughts or actions conspire against me, the seal will make your heart explode. But there's no problem that you have it. You have sworn allegiance to me. Do not worry.
Ha! Apparently your move has turned out terrible, Daishinken. You'd plan to save yourself, to leave in the future or seal it again. But this guy's more cunning than you. It's a pity it won't be necessary for me to end your life. On your own, you've been able to dig your grave.
Ha! What interesting words. But now that you're done, you are able to pick up where you left off. You long for your power to be tested.
Of course! Let's start!
Goku, with a quick movement of his hands, created a golden pressure over the place, making toxins absorbed by the powers of everyone present disappear.
Damn worm, you irritate me. Don't think that you're so smart, I'll kill you.
So you'll be able to show your true intentions.
The aura of both warriors would collide, and everything was destroyed around them. The power of both subjects was so great that the planet itself was said to be indestructible due to the regeneration being affected, because hundreds of rocks were rising all over the place. While Goku was without wasting time, he would access celestial transformation, because the enemy he had in front of him was not an ordinary enemy. But despite the fact Goku's power began to rise greatly, the subject in front of him didn't seem surprised.
You've become great decent, but it won't be enough to defeat me. Even if I currently have 15% of my power, a mortal wouldn't be able to do anything against a fallen angel like me. A being forced to the stars has sacrificed 4 of their souls to seal me.
All while this was happening, a great golden light was released over the place, making everyone recover their energy. They did not have any energies, however, trying to do something great, a great mental power would be transmitted by everyone.
If you want to leave, I have unfinished business with the gods and angels who've betrayed me, with the exception of Beerus and Whis, but I don't have time to think about that. So leave along with your warriors.
Goku, with a serious look, would return to observe Daishinken.
I'm sorry, but you don't deserve my mercy, and in the same way, you've joined this miserable bastard, so the only you together with this bastard will stay on this planet.
Ha ha ha! I'm sorry, but I won't let any of this garbage that's in this place escape. Even for an ant to leave, I have to go through my authorization.
Goku's expression would be amazed, because he would be using his mental power.
Don't be surprised. I've told you, I've existed long before the multiverse, and I bet you don't have the knowledge about the stars, since those warriors ruled these universes hundreds of millions of years ago. Thanks to my long life, I've been able to make myself with various techniques.
You surprise me, but you won't beat me, because you're telling me you have great power. People with great powers aren't used to real battles, so no.
Ezekiel, without letting Goku finish, would connect a big blow on his face, and Goku's eyesight would be able to see the movement. His body couldn't react. Because of this, Goku would fall to the planet, generating destruction, and he would also begin to rebuild.
I can't believe Goku's the power he has, but in this case, are you an imposter? I can't even believe Daisuke betrayed Goku with the angels, the one who even brought life to all the other universes.
Goku Black instantly, without wasting time, would access Ultra Instinct, trying to flee. On this occasion, he would be neutralized by Whis. We angels are not ordered to interfere in the affairs of the gods or mortals, but even if my father has interfered, I can interfere, and at this instant, I will end your existence. Goku Black would be crushed by the pressure of Whis' staff. Goku Black, despite possessing Ultra Instinct, wasn't able to move any of his fingers.
No, damn. I never thought there'd be beings capable of overwhelming my powerful existence in the 12 universes. If I had known that, I would have collaborated and given information to the gods. I don't want to die again.
A seal from Daisuke would be activated by the angels, and because of this, the angels pounced against Whis. The seal of total control will allow him to manipulate all the angels under his command.
No, damn. I never thought I'd have to use my own children. I can't let Goku Black die, because that body of that mortal is incredible. I gave him a little of my power to dominate him, and in the future, it would be my main body. I can't let him die.
All the angels would rush against Whis. However, the power of Whis was superior to the other angels. When fighting against Whis began to be more difficult for him to fight, and thanks to this small opening, Goku Black began to flee from all over the planet. A big blow would be able to make him fall to the base of the planet, while the gods would surround.
As far as I've noticed, none of the gods had the knowledge of the acts that had been done to Goku. For that reason, we gods are able to finish you once and for all. I hope you're ready.
We can't allow an impostor to usurp the true savior of the 12 universes. This would be your ending.
It's time, gods. Let's finish this copy. Since Daisuke is able to betray us, he uses our angels as we're puppets.
Goku Black, despite possessing a greater power than the gods of destruction, teamwork of the 12 gods were incomparable, and they would generate damage through his body. For his part, Ezekiel and Goku began to slowly approach, while their auras were like that of dragons colliding with each other, releasing lightnings through the battlefield.
Well, I didn't think a being like you could manage to give me a battle, but this is interesting. I'm able to realize how your aura is able to face mine. I'll show you that it'll also be a fight. The blow he gave me a few moments ago is capable of knocking me out.
All this would happen through Goku's mind. A big collision would be generated over the planet, and a big battle would start. Camus would join in with Whis' help, as the angels were starting to take advantage.
I'll fight by your side. Even though I am the ruler of another multiverse, my power has declined greatly. I still don't understand the reason.
Whis would return to see Zeno-sama, realizing in the same way his power was decreased. Something's wrong. Either the planet contains poison or a technique that is a supposed fallen angel. We have to leave this place, since Goku's not able to fight with all his power. For that reason, he's asked us to leave this place.
I definitely don't know if that guy's capable of doing anything against that warrior, but if you trust him, I'll defeat the angels and leave quickly this place.
Whis, along with the ruler Camus, moved at an incredible speed throughout the battlefield, beginning to grant them a great battle. To all the warriors, angel after angel began to fall defeated out of combat. After a few minutes, all the angels had been defeated. However, the energy of Whis and Camus was greatly decreased. I did not think the power of my father would grant him so much. They'd been able to even beat us, but we have to leave quickly. Whis, together with Camus, they watched as a large sphere of energy began to disintegrate Goku Black. From a great combined attack from the gods of destruction, they would turn Goku Black into simple atoms.
We've been able to wipe out that scum. We gotta leave, but what do we do with the other angels? Even they have agreed to eliminate Son Goku. We really take them with us?
At that moment, the priority is to get off this planet. Goku's informed us, since even the warriors of all the universes together are not able to maintain that opening in the barrier that guy created. Ezekiel, the fallen angel with the intention of no one escaping, would seal the planet. Mortals wouldn't unite their energies, trying to leave a small hole to get out. Even if they are able to leave with that hole, none of us will be able to get out, as that hole is too small. Goku's voice would resonate in the mind of Whis.
If you're all prepared, I can destroy that hole with the intention that all of you will be able to escape, but it's gotta be in seconds. I'm sure that barrier will be formed again.
Of course, Mr. Goku, we're ready, whenever you are. Goku with a great roar would drive away the fallen angel, while a great claw of Ozaru would destroy the barrier of the fallen angel completely. In these few seconds, all warriors present would leave, and Vegeta observed Goku.
Kakarot, you're number one, so I trust you. I'm sorry for always leaving everything in your hands, but don't die. I want to check out how powerful you become. I trust you.
All the warriors would disappear from the prison planet, while Daishinkan, despite having no wounds on his body, was lying on the ground.
No, damn! Am I really gonna have to serve this warrior for all eternity? I refuse. I don't know how I'll succeed. Even Goku Black's body's been turned to ashes.
Azakale would stand up, while large amounts of blood were released all over his body, and a huge explosion of fury would be depicted on his face.
I can't believe a powerful angel, had fallen to the injury of this bad mere mortal. This has to be a joke. I'll make you suffer.
Azakale, with great speed, would get in front of Goku with the intention of hitting him, but Goku would dodge this blow, staying a few centimeters away.
You've got good speed, but I don't think you could beat me with your ability. Although you were able to read the mind, I am able to do otherwise. I really didn't release all my power, and these beings appreciate me. I didn't plan to hurt them with my power, but now everyone has left. I'll show you.
Ha ha ha! Don't say stupid things, because even though you have great power, you won't be able to manage to do something against a fallen angel. The difference is in experience is incredible.
Azakale would be able to react at a last second. A large mountain on his back would be destroyed, as Goku's blow contained a devastating power.
You've got good reflexes. Now the real battle begins.
I can't believe the ability that mortal has. He's able to seal it for millions of years. Instead of falling into despair, he is able to use the time room to his advantage. This whole thing is a nightmare.
Both warriors held hands, exerting a great external power. Due to this, hundreds of rocks were destroyed around them. After a few minutes, no clear winner was seen. Both teleported, starting to exchange thousands of blows over the prison planet.
I definitely don't know what this guy should do in this time room. I don't want to die, but I also don't want to serve another guy for millions of years.
On the other hand, all the warriors who participated in the prison planet, along with their deities, would arrive on the planet of the god Beerus. Even if we are able to escape from that planet, we must come up with a plan in case Goku's not able to defeat him, which I doubt very much. He has only given us the time required to escape.
I agree with Whis. Even if that powerful warrior named Goku possesses great power, it's impossible for him to defeat a fallen angel who has forced 4 stars to sacrifice their souls to beat them. But in that case, what can we do? Since even Daishinkan was the most powerful being below Zeno-sama, was subdued by that guy.
We gotta come up with a plan. I'm sure that even though we won't agree, we gotta come up to help the other angels. In the case Goku's defeated, we only have divine energy to be the last resistance.
Although I hate that alternative, I understand being the most viable option. But we gotta wait until combat happens on the prison planet. Oh, I'm sure Kakarot will not die. He's the warrior who overcame death, because from what I understand, Daishinkan granted him immortality, and that his agony in the room of time will be eternal.
I definitely don't understand what happened to my father. He even said that at that time Son Goku was the perfect warrior. I don't know what instant he was thinking started to change, but apparently we can't do anything about it anymore. But for all the 12 universes, a great power was beginning to be felt, while everything around him would tremble. Even hundreds of planets were destroyed. I can't believe that's the power of Son Goku. So that's why he wanted us to leave the planet. I agree with him. We wouldn't be able to withstand this great pressure, because despite being far away, he's able to put some pressure on our bodies. The gods of destruction and participants were very surprised by the great pressure that was released by all 12 universes. For their part, returning to the battlefield, Goku would access 100% of all his power of his celestial transformation.
This is all my power. I've given it a few minutes ago, and this moment, the real battle begins. If you have more power hidden, you better release it. I'll not grant you another opportunity like this.
It's time to release all the power I've been sealing in this pathetic tournament. Even I'm not able to reach 50% of my power. It'll be more than enough.
Azakale would expel all the condensed power in his body, and because of this, a great pressure would fall on Goku's, while Ezekiel's power would reach 37% of his power, destroying everything in his path. A great light would rise over the battlefield, observing Ezekiel.
I'm able to release the power I've gained. I'm ready.
The confrontation between Goku and Ezekiel would reach a climax. Without warning, they would both have an incredible blow, but the power of only one was so much that both would shoot out in opposite directions, falling on different planets, destroying them. Goku would stand up on one of the rocks that lay on space, spitting out blood and smiling. This will be the best battle I'll have. It's the best that the other warriors leave, because despite the resistance, it's not been able to withstand a single one of our blows.
It bothers me so much that dirty mortals like you beat me, but you feel flattened, because when I completely defeat you, all your power will be mine.
Ha! That'll be only achieved if you defeat me, and I doubt that, because though you have incredible power, you don't have the energy reserves.
Are you telling me that you have a lot of energy reserves?
Don't say something stupid, you mortal. I'm not implying it, I'm affirming it. Your energy reserves are nothing compared to mine, and I'm able to release more power than you. Ezekiel, annoyed, would pounce against Goku. Both warriors would exchange millions of blows. Both had a perfect defense, but they weren't able to connect any effective blow. Because of this, the damage that would be an outrage, because they would try not to receive blows. However, in an oversight of Ezekiel, Goku would connect a slight blow, at which first glance didn't seem like much, since the blow he gave him was with the palm of his hand. The instant Goku's hand collided with his chest, a great golden light was released, as well as incredible pain coursed through Ezekiel's body, falling to the ground vomiting blood. I don't know if it was an oversight of yours, or if you just trusted yourself hitting yourself with the palm of my hand. It wasn't an ordinary palm, it was my sacred palm. Ezekiel was on the floor, unable to stand. The entire view was blurred, due to the pain running through his body.
No, damn! How could he cause so much damage in a hit? This can't be. I haven't been able to manage to do something. If this continues, there is likely a possibility I'll lose, and I can't afford that.
Ezekiel, concentrating his internal energy, would make it travel with greater force to the center of his chest, since he was the place of the impact of Goku's palm. The pain would cease a little, however, his power had greatly decreased. Your power decreased. At this moment, you're no longer a match for me. You better leave, or this place would be your grave. Ezekiel would stand, while inside his anger consumed him. Before leaving with his pride shattered, he remembered one of the fragments of the Celestial Stone. With only a tiny part of that stone, was able to create a prison planet.
From what I understand, the Celestial Stone responds to the call of the Mother Stone. After the explosion of the planet, I need to locate the stone, but it's obvious, since it is a bright golden in color.
Apparently you're speechless. I hope you don't cause any damage to the universe. I don't want to see your stupid face again. Ezekiel's rage was more, but he would manage to locate the Celestial Stone flying at high speed. Goku would notice that stone, turning his back completely to Ezekiel. You don't have to turn out to be the supposed most powerful being. Although I know you don't have all the power, I'm sure you won't be able to beat me. Goku, before leaving, would notice how everything around him began to turn a golden color. As the power of his enemy increased rapidly, all the universes trembled, but their power was condensing into Ezekiel's body that was overwhelming. So much so that due to this, Goku would fall to his knees. The pressure that his enemy released was on another level. Millions of light years away, the true and authentic king of the entire omniverse, the creator of the sacred stars and heavenly stones, would realize how one of his creations was being used for evil. That guy's not worthy of carrying one of the heavenly stones. Apparently the warrior next to him is a pure heart. He will be the savior of the entire omniverse, and will end the life of my dear son. I was not able to correct his heart, and I don't want him to end with this innocent people. Even though I've erased his memory, he continues with that evil heart. In the head of an opposing being, one of the celestial stones would appear. Disappearing from the place, returning to the battlefield, a very strange stone would appear next to Goku. But without Goku doing something, that stone would be embedded in the center of his chest. and due to this, an immense power would begin to be released from Goku's body, just as a large silver Ozaru would be seen in each and every one of the universes. Ezekiel would manage to dominate the power of the stone, making that stone placed in the center of his body, but this time it was red, just like the appearance had completely changed.
I don't know how you release so much more power. No matter how much power you release, you can't compare yourself to the power of one of the sacred stones.
Ezekiel started to approach, would notice that in the warrior's chest, one of the sacred stones continued to be embedded. Because of this, his expression was that of amazement.
How did you get one of the sacred stones? I won't let you.
Ezekiel, with his max speed, would pounce against Goku, with the intention of not assimilating the power of the sacred stone. It was too late though. Goku had his pure heart assimilate the essence of the sacred stone, unlike Ezekiel, who couldn't be completely compatible with it, because his heart was evil. A great golden and celestial glow would be released around him, while the diamond-shaped stone would form in his chest. Just as his dress and appearance would completely change, Goku would open his eyes, and an opposing being was able to be seen in the universes, leaving the deities amazed.
This goes beyond my understanding. Goku's able to overcome my power. But what surprises me the most is the ability he increases his power.
I don't know how to explain it, but thanks to Mr. Goku, all of us are alive. But we have to prepare because after this great event, I'm sure everything will change.
I agree with you, Whis. And we must know what Goku's gonna do with the angels who betrayed him. Because even though they are the guardian angels, they betrayed a beast.
I even don't know how Goku can proceed. His heart's pure, but I don't know if he's able to forgive the angels, since something like that they've done to him is unforgivable.
Returning to the Great Fortress, it was possible to see Goku, the absolute god of everything existing, because this being was able to divide the entire omniverse, being able to only have an only child with a beautiful angel. But the heart of his beloved son from a very young age was corrupted.
It is time to put an end to all this. You, my dear son, I have not been able to free all the darkness that lies inside you. I cannot end your life. I was able to sacrifice 2 of my loyal guardians to the stars to seal it so you are able to reflect, but that has only increased your evil.
Throughout the castle, a great being in silver armor would stand on the side of the absolute god.
My lord has nothing to worry about, because if you ordered me to lay down my life for you and the young prince, it would be a pleasure to serve you even after my death. My other companions must have thought the same, my lord.
Wow, I've been so thoughtful I've never noticed the moment you arrived. But even though they gave me their life with the best intentions, I never wanted my loyal soldiers to perish, much less at the hands of my son. I am so sorry. The warrior in golden armor, known as the Star of Wisdom, would put his hand on the head of the king, being able to show him an apocalyptic future where the powerful god Goku was lying on the ground, verge of death, at the hands of his own son.
My lord, the young prince was corrupted by a negative energy much older than us. For that reason, he is not able to help him, and if he did not seal it, this was the future we would face.
Goku's gaze would change to a serious one.
What are you telling me? He has an energy, a being much older than me, been able to turn my son against me? My lord, excuse me, but the mission the young prince had with the celestial luminaries, his temperament changed. Being only one who survived, I thought it was trauma. But thousands of years later, he came to the same place with incredible negative energy. Lies in that I am sure that even someone has created all that power, just as you created all the heavenly ones.
Goku was very concerned.
So this is a joke. I never thought that being in this negative energy with the same antiquity as me, it was practically impossible. For millions of years, I looked for life forms and found none. Only when the same supreme energy, I believe Mayuki, but no existence more. I'm sorry, my lord, for everything I've told you, but that's what I've seen in my research. I don't know if there is a being behind all this negative energy, but I'm sure that the young prince changed since that mission.
A Star of Wisdom would leave the place, leaving Goku on his throne. Hundreds of thoughts passed through his mind, and returning to the battlefield, Goku and Ezekiel seemed to have a very equal battle. The power of the Sacred Stone began to generate great damage through Ezekiel's body, but Goku, who every second of the battle would release much more power thanks to his Sacred Stone. Goku, with a powerful blow, was able to make him fall to the base of the planet, generating a huge explosion while Goku was slowly starting to descend. "You're no match for me. I don't know how I was able to get this great power from you, but I was able to control it. Otherwise, even my body would explode from the energy." Goku would approach his enemy, who was lying on the ground defeated. Goku would stretch out his hand, beginning to detach the Celestial Stone from his body. Because of this, the color he felt was incredible, so the loud screams would be heard over the place, and after a few minutes of suffering, Goku would remove the Celestial Stone from his enemy's chest, which served as the core. "I don't know how the hell these stones are, but they're dangerous. I'll have to protect them. I'm sure a very powerful entity must have created them." Goku would stretch out one of his hands with the intention of ending Ezekiel's life. However, a great light would make everything shine around him, because one of the sacred stars would reach the battlefield, but without any words, at an incredible speed managed to hold Ezekiel in his arms, leaving the place. "Damn it! What is this light? He's able to rescue the cursed one from Ezekiel. It doesn't matter, because all the power I have, I know I could defeat him." Goku would fly at a high speed through the universes, perceiving the energy of all the warriors in Universe 7. Due to the new level of Goku, his speed exceeded that of an angel, managing to arrive a few moments towards the planet of Beerus. The instant that Goku would arrive, a great earthquake would be caused in the place, while great silver light would be rising over the planet of the god Beerus.
So you're able to get here, but what happened to Daishinken?
I know that there's been 100 questions, but the most important one is Zeno-sama that you asked. To be honest, I don't know where he is. Since we started, Daishinken fled the place we were fighting.
This is bad. Daishinken may have serious injuries. We gotta do something.
Zeno-sama, I apologize. I'm not gonna make a single one of my fingers try to help this miserable man who tried to end me. I gotta thank him, because if not for him, I wouldn't have gotten all this power. While all the divine energy was talking among themselves, Daishinken would reach the borders of the entire universe, finding himself badly injured, while his body expelled large amounts of blood.
Damn it, I'm being humiliated by a Saiyan. I can't allow this. I don't have the required power to do something. Even if I train for millions of years, I won't be able to overcome it.
But while Daishinken continued to lie on the floor, a great light would rise up over the planet. While in the same way, a sacred stone would appear in front of Daishinken. But instead of being golden, this sacred stone would be purple, similar to the energy of the god of destruction.
You won't have the power of the so-called rulers, even beyond the power of the sacred star. Absorb that sacred stone. I assure you that you'll be able to become very powerful.
Daishinken would hold the sacred stone intently. In the kingdom of the god of absoluteness, he would get to his son to recover all his memories. Because of this, he would send one of the rooms of the kingdom with the intention that he rest.
I have to investigate my own. The energy of one of the stars has informed me that this great mission I need the power of a warrior named Son Goku.
Goku, on the other hand, would be named as the new protector of the 12 universes. He would manage to get hold of the absolute power of the luminous, pure God, ultra golden instinct. 70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son. You've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness.
That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot. It was our first encounter with an enemy of another level, but we cannot forget the Cell Bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong. Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time he showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest. Yes, but don't forget about Beerus, that god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe. The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving.
Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest. Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis? Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be? The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula. Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What? The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of God at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What?
This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest.
Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for the survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you? We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out!
Let's go, Kakarot!
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow Creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from the smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin. Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this.
Yes, Vegeta.
This creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all. Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides.
Come on, Vegeta. Let's attack together and put an end to this.
For once, Kakarot, I agree. The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyan's attacks with ease.
Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense. Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast. The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination.
We can't underestimate this thing. Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together.
All right, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it. Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kamehameha! Final Flash! The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely.
Vegeta, we're in trouble. This thing's stronger than we thought.
Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing.
Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta!
The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground.
Vegeta, we need a plan.
The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge that blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds.
Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!
At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince. As he stood up, his eyes were gaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?
Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies.
Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta, with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, in his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, and there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end, In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light! It's time to seal your fate!
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated Earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing.
Vegeta, something's happening. We must get there fast.
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku. Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Dad, Vegeta, something's coming.
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature, we will fight.
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight. We won't let them defeat us.
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly. Gohan, Broly, stay strong.
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything.
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature and its enhanced form launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyan's attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly. Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison.
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher and unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the Dark Possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist!
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature and Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed their most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 had joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more, with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power, and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence.
A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it! Where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan.
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Ha 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 ha! Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature!
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious.
The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The Shadows creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat. Damn Shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure. I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan.
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power. The Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury.
The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan? That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way! The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways! Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the dark entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan? As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life. So what's the plan, Piccolo?
Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you. I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. "This is my chance to end this!" With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. "What happened?"
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up, so the shadow creature set out to return to its master. After the terrifying moment that the Z warriors had experienced, Goku and Vegeta realized that Beerus and Whis were not on Earth. They had disappeared just moments before the shadow creatures appeared on Earth. This is because Daishinkan discovered that Zeno-sama had been killed by his father and immediately summoned all the angels and gods of destruction. In the majestic realm of all, Daishinkan, the high priest, summoned all the angels and gods of destruction of the existing universes. The atmosphere in the hall was unusually tense, and concern was reflected in the faces of those present. Daishinkan, with his usual calmness, prepared to share the disturbing truth he had discovered.
Angels and gods of destruction, the time has come to face a powerful truth. Zeno-sama, our beloved king of all, has been slain.
Silence fell over the hall. The angels and the gods of destruction exchanged looks of disbelief and dismay. No one expected that such a tragedy could occur, especially at the hands of someone so powerful.
My investigation revealed that the one responsible for this abominable act was Zeno-sama's own father.
The news resounded like a somber echo in the room. Everyone present processed the shocking revelation. The omnipresent figure of Zeno-sama, the supreme deity, had been shattered by his own protagonist. Mohito, Sidra's angel, spoke in a worried voice. "How is it possible that a being as powerful as Zeno-sama's father could have committed such an act?"
That is a question for which I still have no answers. But now we must face the consequences of this event. The stability of the multiverse is in danger.
Arak, the god of destruction of Quintillons, asked,
"And what measures will we take in the face of this threat? What'll happen to the throne of Zeno-sama?"
That is a question we must discuss and resolve. For now, the throne remains empty, and our duty is to maintain peace and balance. But before we make hasty decisions, we need to fully understand the magnitude of this situation.
Beerus and Whis prepared to inform the gods of destruction and angels of all universes about what they had witnessed while on planet Earth with Goku and Vegeta. The hall of the realm of everything was filled with celestial beings, each one expectant and worried about the news they were about to receive.
Attention everyone! We have crucial information to share about the events that have been unfolded.
Before we are summoned here, the father of Zeno-sama appeared on all the planets of the multiverse. Surprise was reflected on the faces of those present. Murmurs and whispers filled the room, as the gods of destruction and angels exchanged looks of disbelief. His visit was not simply to report the death of Zeno-sama. He announced the holding of the tournament that would determine the survival of the planets in each universe. Additional rumors filled the room, creating a constant buzz of concern. The gods of destruction and angels wanted to understand the implications of such an announcement. He informed the rules of the tournament and the intentions behind such a competition, but it's necessary that we all work together to get answers and face this threat. It is time to join forces and overcome this crisis. The fate of our universes is at stake. As the gods and angels absorbed the gravity of the situation, in every corner of the hall of the realm of everything, conversations and plans were brewing to confront the mysterious tournament that threatened to upset the balance of the multiverse. Uncertainty hung in the air, but the determination of the divine beings was determined to face the unknown that lay ahead. In the Hall of Everything, Daishinkan, the High Priest, sensed the imminent arrival of extremely powerful entities heading for the different planets of the multiverse. His face reflected seriousness as he prepared to inform all the angels and gods of destruction present of the coming threat. Gods and angels of destruction, the time has come to face a new and challenging threat. Entities of great power are headed towards the planets of our universes, and their goal seems to be a direct confrontation with the strongest warriors of each world. The expressions of those present became serious. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Daishinkan continued with determination. It's crucial that we move quickly to protect the strongest warriors of each planet, regardless of which universe they belong to. The threat we face does not respect universal boundaries, and we must act with unity to preserve the balance. Vados, the Angel of Champa, raised his hand. How do you plan for us to move, Daishinkan? We each have responsibilities in our universes. I understand the complexity of this situation, but the magnitude of this threat requires immediate action. I suggest that every angel and god of destruction move to the planets threatened by this unknown force. We must prevent the strongest warriors from being defeated before we can fully understand our enemies. Sounds like a sensible plan, Daishinkan. If we all work together, we can protect our warriors and gain more information about these powerful entities. Each angel and god of destruction nodded in agreement, accepting the need to act immediately. They moved quickly to the various planets, casting aside universal barriers in a joint effort to safeguard the multiverse. May the wisdom and power of each of you guide this effort. Let us not underestimate this new threat. Our duty is to protect the existence of our universes. With those words, the angels and gods of destruction dispersed, leaving the Hall of All in preparation to face a challenge that transcended universal boundaries and demanded the collaboration of all divine beings. Uncertainty hung in the air, but determination to preserve the balance of the multiverse guided the powerful beings in their joint mission. The angels and gods of destruction quickly teleported to the threatened planets, each determined to protect the strongest warriors on the various planets. In the blink of an eye, the skies lit up with flashes of divine energy as Awamo and Ewin, Cognac and Quintillons, Matanu and Geen, Whis and Beerus, and the other angels and gods of destruction headed toward their assigned destinations. The planet Thraxis Nocturnae lay peaceful in the corner of the cosmos, its nocturnal luminosity radiating a tranquility that was about to be disturbed. In the vast space, Awamo the angel, with his small book in hand, and his god of destruction Ewin, an imposing figure with a stern gaze, detected the arrival of a shadow creature, a minion of Zeno-sama's father. The creature, shrouded in malevolent darkness, descended with malevolent determination towards Thraxis Nocturnae. Ewin, without hesitation, deployed his energy of destruction while Awamo stood by, hoping to resolve the conflict without a bath of chaos. Creature, your darkness will not be tolerated in this realm. Stop your destructive plans. The shadow creature emanated a guttural growl, its presence emanating an unnatural energy that distorted the space around it. The space battle began with an explosion of opposing forces. Ewin launched destructive beams, while Awamo used his speed to dodge the attacks and assess the situation. Ewin, this creature's stronger than we imagined. We must be cautious. I know, Awamo, but we can't let him destroy Thraxis Nocturnae. We must give our best. The shadow creature, agile and evasive, responded to the attacks with dark energy waves that distorted space. The battle spread across the firmament, leaving traces of destructive energy in its wake. Iwin tried to anticipate the creature's movements. However, the shadow creature proved to be agile and adaptive, countering every strategy with an unmatched dark force.
Our conventional methods don't work. Iwin, we need to combine our forces.
I agree, Awamo. It's time to show them the true power of destruction.
Awamo and Iwin merged their energies, creating a flash of light that defied the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, perceiving the threat, intensified its own energy, generating a collision of cosmic forces that shook space itself. The battle reached a fever pitch, with cosmic explosions lighting up the scene as Awamo and Iwin struggled to contain the darkness. The struggle took place not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual one, where the will to protect Thraxis Nocturne was pitted against the ruthless ambition of the shadow creature. The fusion of Awamo and Iwin unleashed a dazzling energy that eclipsed even the nocturnal luminosity of Thraxis Nocturne. The gold and violet glow enveloped the divine couple as they prepared to face the dark threat looming over the peaceful planet.
It's time to show the true extent of our power, Awamo.
The shadow creature, aware of the growing threat, rushed towards them with supernatural speed. Awamo, with his keen perception, anticipated every movement of the creature, allowing the couple to dodge its onslaughts with heavenly elegance.
Keep calm, Iwin. We must synchronize our movements to counteract their darkness.
Iwin nodded and unleashed a series of destructive energy blasts that lit up the space around him. However, the shadow creature responded with amazing agility, dodging every attack with meandering movements. The battle became a cosmic game of strategy and speed. The angel Awamo and the god of destruction Iwin soon realized that in order to defeat this entity, they would need a coordinated attack that transcended the limits of their individual abilities. In a moment of perfect timing, they unleashed a gale of combined energy. Awamo channeled the energy of destruction while Iwin released violet flashes of destruction.
Focus your energy, Awamo. Let's get rid of this darkness once and for all.
Awamo nodded and joined the attack with determination. The fused energy of both angel and god turned into a spear of golden and violet light that pierced through space with an impressive speed. The shadow creature, caught in the torrent of power, let out a heart-rending howl as it was enveloped by the luminosity. The impact was abysmal, generating an expansive wave that shook the cosmos. The darkness that enveloped the creature began to dissipate, revealing its twisted and weakened form. Awamo and Iwin, exhausted but triumphant, stood on guard ready for any eventuality.
We have managed to contain their darkness, but we can't let our guard down.
The shadow creature, now visibly weakened, recoiled before the imposing presence of Awamo and Iwin. The light had prevailed over the darkness in the cosmic corner of Thraxis Nocturne. The divine couple remained firm in their duty to protect the planet that this creature wanted to destroy. However, the battle was not yet over, and the fates of the planets remained uncertain in the vastness of space. After the shocked combined attack of Awamo and Iwin, the space around Thraxis Nocturne was vibrating with the residual energy of the cosmic battle. The shadow creature, apparently weakened, remained suspended in the cosmic void, enveloped in a dark glow that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. The divine couple watched cautiously, aware that the fate of Thraxis Nocturne was still hung in the cosmic balance.
Iwin, something's not right. The darkness of that creature seems to be getting stronger instead of weaker.
It seems that our attack has absorbed by her, but it shouldn't be possible. How can he transform our energy of destruction to his own power?
The shadow creature, now surrounded by a more intense aura, began to change its shape. Its twisted figure became more defined. His eyes shone with a malevolent lucidity. The darkness emanating from her was becoming denser, distorting the space around her.
You have underestimated my true potential, angel and god of destruction. Your energy has strengthened me beyond your comprehension.
The divine couple prepared for what was to come next, aware that the threat they faced had evolved. The shadow creature, now empowered by the absorbed energy, charged towards them with renewed speed and ferocity.
We need to be more cautious, Iwin.
It seems that every blow we inflict makes her stronger.
Understood, Owamo, but we can't allow this darkness to devour Thraxus Nocturne.
The battle resumed with increased intensity. The shadow creature attacked with bursts of dark energy that cut through space, while Owamo and Ewin responded with flashes of golden and violet light. The cosmic dance of lights and shadows painted an epic picture in the vastness of the universe. Each blow and backlash echoed like thunder in space, distorting reality itself. Owamo, with his keen perception, tried to anticipate the movements of the dark creature, but the dark entity proved to be unpredictable. Ewin, with his energy of destruction, sought to weaken the creature, but his attacks seemed to be absorbed and turned into an additional source of power.
Every time we hit her, her power increases. We can't go on like this.
We must find a way to counteract his ability to absorb our energy. Do you have any ideas, Owamo?
Owamo pondered for a moment, his angelic mind working in search of a solution. Meanwhile, the shadow creature, aware of its opponent's confusion, took the opportunity to launch a surprise attack. A wave of dark energy enveloped Owamo and Ewin, distorting their perception and weakening their defenses.
Your resistance is useless. I am the embodiment of darkness. His light cannot prevail before me.
The situation was becoming more and more desperate for the divine couple as they struggled to resist the shadow creature's attacks. Owamo turned his attention to the small book he always carried with him. An idea began to form in his mind.
Ewin, I think I have an idea, but we need to synchronize our attacks in a different way.
Explain yourself, Owamo.
Owamo explained his plan to Ewin, who nodded in understanding. Both God and Angel prepared to put their strategy into practice. The shadow creature, confident in its superiority, launched into the attack again, but this time Owamo and Ewin were ready to respond differently.
Now, Ewin, combine your energy of destruction with mine in a more controlled way.
Ewin nodded and channeled his energy to Owamo, who, in turn, merged it with his. Instead of launching a direct attack, they created a sphere of combined light and energy that floated between them.
Do you think this tactic will change the outcome?
We'll see.
The energy sphere began to slowly expand, emanating a glowing light that contrasted the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, curious but confident, watched the development with disdain.
The fused power is not only destructive, but it also has properties that counteract its absorption capacity.
The combined energy sphere, now reaching its maximum expansion, released a wave of light and energy that enveloped the shadow creature. This time, instead of absorbing the power, the darkness that characterized her began to dissipate.
What is this? My power should not be weakened.
We create an energy that goes beyond destruction and creation, one that neutralizes the darkness that you're trying to absorb.
The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewin's strategic counterattack, retreated as the combined energy sphere continued to exert its effect. The light emanating from the sphere began to purify the darkness surrounding the entity, revealing its original form before corruption.
It seems our tactic's working, but we must make sure we contain it completely.
We can't let our guard down. Let's continue with the strategy until the creature's completely neutralized.
The space battle continued, but this time Owamo and Ewin had the upper hand. His sphere of combined energy continued to exert its purifying effect, dispelling the darkness that threatened Thraxus Nocturne. With each passing moment, the shadow creature grew weaker. The light of hope began to shine in the corner of the cosmos that was once on the verge of destruction. The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewin's strategy, retreated into space, its distorted form twisting as the combined energy sphere continued to purify the darkness that enveloped it. In a desperate attempt to regain his strength, the shadow creature began to explore its surroundings, looking for an opportunity to turn the situation in his favor.
My power is weakened here. I need to find a place where darkness prevails.
While exploring, the shadow creature noticed something that favored him. His eyes flashed with malevolent anticipation as he discovered that this world was called Thraxus Nocturne because it was a planet plunged into shadows. The dark entity smiled malevolently as he realized that this planet could provide the darkness needed to revitalize his power.
Ha 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 ha! Thraxus Nocturne, a feast of darkness awaits me!
With amazing speed, the shadow creature launched itself towards the planet, traversing space with great speed. Owamo and Ewin, aware of his intentions, followed closely, determined to stop any attempt by the shadow creature to plunge into the darkness of the planet. As the creature approached Thraxis Nocturne, the darkness of the planet seemed to intensify, as if responding to its presence. The planet's nighttime atmosphere shone with a faint luminosity, offering a fascinating contrast to the surrounding stars.
Ewin, we must prevent the creature from being filled with dark power. If she succeeds, it'll be even more difficult to stop her. Understood, Owamo. We'll not allow the darkness of this planet to fall into the hands of that entity.
The shadow creature descended on Thraxis Nocturne with a terrifying impetus. As she approached, the darkness seemed to take her in, enveloping her with a gloomy welcome. The shadow creature began to absorb the darkness of the planet, its twisted form vibrating with a new energy as it filled with the essence of Thraxis Nocturne.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, this darkness will strengthen me. Nothing can stop me now.
Owamo and Ewin, wasting no time, headed towards the shadow creature, determined to stop its advance before it became unstoppable. The battle in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne was about to take a very drastic turn.
We cannot allow this darkness to completely corrupt this creature. We must stop her before she becomes invincible. Your previous strategy was effective, Owamo. Let's keep working together to counter his power.
Deep in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne, the intense presence of the absorbing shadow creature did not go unnoticed by the most powerful warriors on the planet. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and his brother Cooler felt the darkness increasing around them and, with a mixture of amazement and concern, headed toward the epicenter of the threat.
Something's not right. The darkness in this place is getting denser.
Whatever it is, we cannot let it threaten Thraxis Nocturne. Let's investigate.
The warriors moved nimbly across the gloomy terrain, advancing towards the source of the darkness. As they got closer, the atmosphere became heavier, as if the shadow itself wanted to resist their advance.
The darkness is different. I feel a strange pressure. I'm not afraid of the dark, but this is unusual. Cooler, stay alert.
Understood, Frieza. Let's find out what's going on.
Suddenly, a wave of dark energy erupted before them, revealing the shadow creature that was absorbing the darkness of the planet. His twisted figure and malevolent aura were as evident as the threat he posed to Thraxis Nocturne.
Warriors of this planet, his darkness feeds me. Soon I will be unstoppable.
We won't let you destroy Thraxis Nocturne. Get ready, creature.
The warriors went on the attack, each unleashing their unique power against the dark entity. Turles unleashed his evil aura, releasing bursts of destructive energy. Bardock channeled his Saiyan fury into powerful blows, while Raditz and Cooler coordinated their attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Frieza intensifying the struggle.
This creature doesn't know who he's up against.
Your resistance is useless. Each blow only increases my power.
The shadow creature, powered by the darkness of Thraxis Nocturne, absorbed attacks with defiant ease. Each impact seemed to strengthen rather than weaken it, plunging the warriors into the disturbing reality that they were facing an enemy that fed on its own darkness.
It's not working. He's getting stronger and stronger.
We need to change our strategy. We can't let it absorb all the darkness on the planet.
While the warriors struggled to find an effective strategy, the shadow creature, with its distorted laughter, continued to absorb the darkness, becoming more and more powerful. The Battle of Thraxis Nocturne's survival was at its most critical, and the warriors knew that they had to find a solution before the dark entity became invincible. The dark aura released by the shadow creature enveloped the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, gradually weakening them. The warriors struggled to stay on their feet as the entity's malevolent energy infiltrated their bodies, obscuring their vital forces.
This is it. Too much.
I can't let that defeat us like this.
The warriors, despite their bravery, were overcome by the darkness emanating from the aura of the shadow creature. At that critical moment, when hope seemed to be fading, a heavenly light pierced the shadows. Owamo and Ewin, the angels charged with protecting Thraxis Nocturne, arrived on the battlefield.
The darkness emanating from this creature is breathtaking.
We cannot allow it to take over this planet. Time to show these warriors how to fight true darkness.
The angel spread his wings, and together with the god of destruction, they advanced towards the shadow creature, his presence radiating a luminosity that defied the malevolent nature of the dark aura. As it approached, the dark entities sensed the arrival of divine beings and turned to face the new threat.
More insignificant beings. His light will be devoured by my darkness. Don't underestimate the power of light. Darkness cannot resist the true essence of creation.
Awamo extended his hand, and a purifying light enveloped the battlefield, counteracting the dark effect of the creature's aura. Ewin, on the other hand, deployed the energy of destruction, creating a perfect balance between light and darkness. The shadow creature, for the first time, felt the pressure of forces that it could not easily absorb or resist. The conflict took a turn, and the battle became more intense as the angel and god of destruction faced the dark entity with the unique combination of light and destruction.
The real struggle starts now. We'll protect Thrax's Nocturne from the darkness you represent.
The fight between the angels and the shadow creature reached impressive levels, with bursts of energy illuminating the dark planet of Thrax's Nocturne. Meanwhile, the warriors, freed from the debilitating effects of the dark aura, watched the fight, hoping that their planet would not be destroyed.